Hi everyone, welcome to Chinwag Wednesdays. I'm live and today's guest is going to be Ewan from 2bTreasureD. Now, I've caught up with Ewan in the last week or so and we've had a bit of a chat, and he's got hopefully a rather interesting story to tell about certainly the last year, about how the clothing brand that he created has come about. And I'm trying to show individual stories and small businesses, just trying to show what they're doing and try and create a little bit of brand awareness and spread the love, really. So I hope you enjoy this podcast. So let's try and get Ewan on now. Just bear in mind that there will be a couple of seconds where it will go silent, hopefully where it's all connecting. So if it goes silent, just stay with it just for a couple of seconds. Here we go. Any moment now. There he is. How you doing, Ewan?
Hi, how's it going?
I'm good, man. You?
Yeah, not too bad. Yourself?
Yeah, we probably had those moments of silence, so I don't know why it does it, but yeah, you good?
Yes, yeah, very good.
Hard days work today?
Yeah, hard day's work today, and then I've got a few more orders to do today.
Yeah,
So
it never stops then.
yeah, yeah, it never stops. How
Good.
about yourself? You had a good day?
Yeah, it's just constant, that's all. In a good way though, can't complain. Do you want to, I've done a short introduction as to sort of who you are and a tiny, well, not even anything about the brand, but do you want to just do an introduction as to sort of who you are and what the brand is all about?
Yeah, sure. So the brand mainly comes from the simple belief that life is full of moments to be treasured. You know, a lot of times in life you get caught up in everyday stress and worries and distractions and all these things. And, you kind of forget to live in the moment, and just kind of enjoy life as best you can. So that's the kind of ethos behind the brand, all about getting outdoors, finding your peace and, some purpose. That's where the kind of brand came from. Something a bit different, I think, I'm so grateful for the impression that the brand has made, and we've just turned a year old in November there. So yeah, I'm so grateful.
It's been amazing. I mean, I said to you like last week or the week before, whenever we spoke, like when you came on the scene, it was just like this hurricane. Somehow you made it onto the feed, so you caught my attention straight away, and there was just 2bTreasureD everywhere. Just everyone seemed to have it. You must have just flooded the market at the time. It was remarkable.
I know, I couldn't believe it, to be honest. I mean, even within our first few months, things were, picking up quite nicely. Just
Yeah.
nothing major, obviously, because it's just a new business and a new brand, but more our following grew very quickly. And I couldn't believe it. It's something, it just made me speechless, actually.
Good. It's nice. It's nice to hear that. Where let's start right at the beginning, or even before the beginning. Like where did it all come from?
So, I mean, I'll kind of just start at the beginning, how I kind of came about the whole thing. So I was at my full-time job, and, I was going through just a stressful bit of time with that, just as every job is stressful, has its moments. And it kind of pushed me to the point of thinking, is this really what I want to be doing the rest of my life? Just what I was kind of doing. I mean, I enjoy my job, like I do enjoy what I do. I go on with everyone, all these things, but
Yeah.
more just, is this my purpose? Is it what I'm doing? So kind of pushed me to the point where, see, I don't fear failure. I fear regret. So,
Right.
I don't want to get to my 70s or 80s, if I make it that long, hopefully. I don't want to get to that point and go, I never once took a chance, or I never once, try to build something, or, did something for myself and try to create something. So
Have you ever had anything like this before, or was this kind of the first venture?
First venture. I've never started a business before. I've been at my current job, my full-time job for, that'd be 11 years, I think now.
Right.
So this is the first time, no experience starting a business, anything like that. So it's it's been a bit overwhelming at the start, but
It's a steep learning curve, isn't it?
oh, absolutely. But it's amazing though. It's such a journey. Yes, it's very hard work. And I didn't start the business for a lot of money at all. I didn't have a lot of money to start this.
Yeah.
But it's been a bit of a mental journey. But it's been so worth it. But that's how I kind of thought I'm going to start something. And for some reason, I already had the kind of ethos and about the brand in my head. It was already there about what I wanted the brand to be. I didn't necessarily have a name yet. It was actually me and my mum that were kind of banging forward with the ideas about a name, and then it came for the designed a few logos. The first ones were absolutely crap.
Did you do that, or did you have help with that?
I did it all myself. Again, me and my mum.
Okay.
My mum was involved a wee bit in the name. Give her credit. But everything else, everything to do with the business, the website, marketing, advertising, the lot, I do all myself. But I had no experience in that either, so that, learning all that.
You picked a hell of a product, didn't you?
Oh, Jesus! And try to do that with the job as well, the full-time job, and but it's the best way to do it and learn it is by doing it. I always kind of say that to people is, even if you've been no experience in something, go for it.
Better to make some mistakes than not do anything at all.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Right. So you've got this concept. You've got some logos and things like that. Presumably, at some point, that jumped onto an item at some point.
Yeah. So after I get rid of the kind of crap logos, before I didn't even put them onto any product. It was just more of the design phase. But my brother was always saying, keep it nice and simple, bold, bold lettering. I was thinking about fancy fonts and all this rubbish. And so my brother kept me straight on that. But then I eventually came up with a stag. But once I started getting on products, there was a good bit of testing in that to see how everything came out, and a bit of money.
So you sourced a manufacturer, I suppose is the right word. You basically someone to make it.
Yeah, well, a lot of the stuff is again, because I didn't really have a lot of money, I had to start the brand off with like making things to order. So if somebody would make a purchase and then it gets made to order, these are done at like fulfillment centres and everything. We still do that a wee bit, but I'm now trying to fade that out. But I'll get to that later on.
Yeah.
So I've had lots of money. It's easier to buy in stock because you've got every colour, every size, every style. Before you know it, you're spending tens of thousands on stock.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to do that at the start because, one, I didn't have the money, and two, I had no idea if anybody would like the brand. So it was a less risky way.
That's your wardrobe sorted for the next 10 years.
Honestly, see the first kind of additions and just finding the nicest products.
Have you still got them? Have you got the first editions?
Yeah, I mean they're more just, I use them for like work jumpers and don't mind getting dirty and all that kind of stuff.
So when I started this, don't ask me why, but I went down the merch route, and this sits on my shelf, and this is the first hat that I ever made. That's what the logo looked like at the time. That was all I could do. I was just working with apps and stuff, but I keep it. That's not going anywhere.
That's the thing, you remember where you started,
Absolutely.
Pictures and all these things are just where it started. I think it's important to remember that. But my wardrobe's full of the rubbish ones. So
you started doing some make to orders and things like that, and presumably at some point it just started to accelerate a little bit.
Yeah, so I think once, maybe was it about May time this year, give or take, that's when things really started to pick up, because I finally figured out the whole marketing and advertising thing. managed to
Right.
get my head around that a wee bit more. So sales actually jumped up quite a bit. Again, nothing crazy, but just a nice healthy amount.
Yeah,
And
nice.
so you become into, as your business grows, you kind of come into not necessarily new problems, but just new situations that, oh, it worked before, but now that doesn't.
Yeah,
So that's why I'm now trying to get away from the made to order thing. And now I'm starting British manufacturing, fully British manufacturing. It's not just designed here; it's like fully from scratch, made in Britain. So I'm quite proud
nice.
to do that. And I need to give a shout out to a guy called Jacob Lockwood. Actually, he's got his own brand. He's the one that kind of helped me in that route, just to kind of get
That's good
started
that
with it.
that
So,
you've got that, because sometimes when you're on your own, you're on your own and you don't know
oh,
what you don't know.
and to be honest, like not a lot of people want to help you, and the whole thing. And I get it, I understand, but uh, Jacob was a great help. He's a good man because he's fully British manufacturing from the start. So it's very impressive. Um,
Brilliant.
so so I'm more focusing on like my new products that I bring out, like the jackets that we brought out. That's our
Yeah.
first fully British made product.
And you
Um,
you clearly fancy yourself as a male model.
oh no,
We've all seen the pictures. It looks
I hate
good.
I
Looks
hate my
good.
pictures. And my brother's my photographer. Shout out to him.
Oh, right. Okay.
Um,
Yeah, no, they're good. They're good pictures.
I appreciate that. Thanks very much. So yeah, so that's but the next kind of products in line are these quarter zips actually. These will be British made. A few upgrades to them very slightly and this kind of thing. And then I'm hopefully going to do gilets and some more fleeces. I've got a full vision for the brand, where I want to go and products to be doing. But
Yeah.
it's just time and money. That's the
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of
of course it is.
everybody's problem.
What's your I know your work background, but like in terms of the brand, like why the stag? Are you linked to shooting, or like where does it all come from?
So like a few things actually. So the stag, I love the animal. I just think it's a very nice animal.
Yeah.
Two, it's in my family crest. My family crest is a stag's head. And I'm
Right.
also into shooting. I mostly do clay pigeon shooting. That's more,
Yeah.
I stick
Yeah,
to more
yeah,
clay
yeah.
pigeon. But that's and it was also just
That's
outdoorsy.
that's nice that you've tied it in that way. I mean, it's a very Scottish brand, isn't it?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
no, it's good. So you've touched on it already, actually. So what's the current projects then? Like what have you currently got going on?
So it was on Monday there, I received the jackets, the
Yeah.
Moorland jacket. Pre-orders went well actually. I was up on, was that Monday night till about 1:30 in the morning, sorting all the pre-orders out, getting all that
Wow.
sorted. So, yeah,
Brilliant.
so full commitment.
So
Um,
you get some like prototypes or something, and then the rest of it has to be pre-orders.
Yeah, well, so I got two samples made from the
Right.
manufacturer. First one was fine, there was nothing necessarily wrong with it, but I was like, oh, there's a few wee upgrades I want to do, antique brass zips and this and that, bigger hood. So we got a second one made, and then it took about a month roughly to get all the jackets made. So the pre-order just helps with people because obviously there's only a limited stock.
Yeah.
Um, so it kind of, if somebody wants to pre-order it, they get guaranteed that they'll get one kind of thing.
Yeah.
So,
There there must be a lot of waiting, like you just said there. You want a bigger hood, and I suppose
uh-huh,
it's got to go back to them. Then it's got to be done, and then it's got to
uh-huh,
come to you, and then you've got to, is that the right size and all that? It
uh-huh.
must be really frustrating, just all the waiting.
I wouldn't say necessarily frustrating, if you know what I mean. It's just more,
It
it's
would
just
be,
kind of
because I
part
got
of
no patience whatsoever.
it. Well, I'm the same. A lot of things I don't have
If
patience
I
with.
order something on Amazon, I want it that day if possible.
Want it yesterday.
Yeah.
But just, because it's like my thing and I want it to be as perfect as it can be,
Yeah.
the wait is worth it 100%. So it took maybe 4 weeks all in all to get the sample all sorted out, give or take, and then a month to get the the production jackets after the sample there, they still take time, but they're quicker because the templates have already been made and
Right.
this and that. But I mean, it's a very expensive process, but all for good reasons as well.
Right.
British
Yeah.
made in a British factory, all these kind of things.
Have you had like many manufacturing like problems that you've had to get over, like hurdles? Is there something that has halted the process or anything like that, or have they been good as gold and have just got on
They,
with it?
they've been good as gold. Honestly, I've had. I mean, obviously, this is the first one dealing. The guy's name's Pav. Dealing with Pav in the factory, but they've 10 out of 10. Honestly, like they've delivered so well. And I've been speaking to them since about maybe September, August, give or take, and we're getting on like house on fire. It's brilliant.
Good.
So their quality's amazing. There's no doubt about
Good.
that.
Have you got like a favorite piece at the moment?
Probably maybe the jacket now. To be honest,
Yeah.
I think the jacket. These will be next. This will be the next product. As I was saying, I do quite like these, but the jackets, it just feels quality, and it's
Yeah.
even with just adding the antique brass zip and the wee slight upgrades, it's like what a difference. That's probably my favourite, to be honest.
What about geography? Have you tracked how far like one item has actually been shipped so far, or
I've not actually. They have. I've not. I know
has it made it out the country? Do you know?
no. Well, apart from like, there's been a few
Wales.
Northern Ireland, but that's about it. Obviously, that's still in the UK and everything. But that's
You're not international just yet, then.
no. It's there's a few
You'll get there,
regulations.
mate. You'll get there.
It's more. I've actually had a lot of people email saying, "Oh, can you ship to here and this and that?" But I think there's just a lot of regulations you need to go through.
And I'm assuming quite high shipping costs as well,
Yeah,
and tax and
exactly.
everything else.
Yeah, exactly. So people have reached out overseas to to get something.
That's good.
But
So you're the designer, you're the male model, you're everything, aren't you? I'm going to keep saying that. What's been like? What's the hardest part of doing everything? Because what I'm hoping is that we're talking to people now that have either started something on their own or they'd like to start something. Like what was a really, or what is the hardest part for you, and perhaps how do you overcome it?
it's a good question. I mean, currently there's nothing hurdle wise necessarily. I don't think, but at the start was very overwhelming because obviously no experience in anything. So you're getting the website all working and looking nice, and at that time I
Yeah.
didn't have any content because I'm very grateful that I've got a few content creators that reached out to me at the very start. Actually, they've been great and they do such a great job. So it wasn't until I got some content, the website was just dreadful. But now that I've, oh yeah, it was
But
terrible.
you've got to start somewhere, though.
Right, absolutely. It's
Yeah.
you need to start somewhere. So after I got all that kind of sorted, got my head around things, that was quite difficult at the start. The website, marketing, advertising is just crazy because I don't use an agency for that because it's very
Right.
expensive. So try to work. It took me till May to figure that out, and I'm still not an expert.
You'll be spending the rest of your life trying to figure it out.
A lot of people say that. I mean,
It's it can be the ball ache to the job, is the constant constant posts and information and all that sort of thing.
because you've got ads that maybe work. Some of your advertising maybe works for 2 weeks and then it gets fatigued. Ad fatigue, and then you need to redo it. And that's probably the constant work. There's a lot of things now are kind of in place, whereas maybe for the first 6 months I was constantly, looking at things and could that be better, this, that, and that. But it's I mean, my advice to anyone really is just rather than going one day I'll start that. is just go, today's the day, day one. Just start it, because there's no point in researching things or anything, because the amount of wee issues or problems will only happen once you start it, you know, and that's part of the journey, you know.
And too many people let themselves get in the way. We're very quick to find a reason not to do something, and we should just be finding the one reason to do it and then do it.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I think something that helped me not give up, because I always do say the key to success is not giving up. You know, you're going to make mistakes. That's fine. You know, just work through it. But my, I forgot what I was going to say there.
Key to success? I don't know. I don't know where you were going with it.
That's it. The key to success is not giving up.
Yeah.
That's how simple that is.
So what drives you then on the dark days when everything's going wrong and things like that?
I think it's purely because I'm an all or nothing type person. You know, like if I'm committed to something, if I'm passionate about something, I'm all or nothing. Well, I'm all in it if I'm passionate about it. So that's what helped me through. Because to be honest, in the first 2 months, give or take, I could have gave up many times just because of how difficult it was to work everything out, and you know, you're doing everything yourself, but you just it's like learning anything, you know, just stick at it, bit by bit, and you'll get there, you know. And it's
most people in many different industries, content creation, musicians, clothes design, like whatever, there's so many that just give up. You know, if I think of the pages that I've seen come and go over the last 6 years, you know, they start, they do loads of posts, everything looks great, for whatever reason, you know, it doesn't you know, hit the millions, and then they stop and they go, and I suppose that's the same for so many things, and it is sometimes it can be difficult to keep going, but it sounds like you're just enjoying the journey, which I think is a key part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's hard work, absolutely, but you know, just, you know, it's life, you know, just go for it, you know, just go for it. Again, it's hard to say certain times, but again, I didn't have a lot of money to start this either. You know, it's just, you don't need a lot of money. It's just, I'm trying to fund it as I go in my job, and you know, this and that, and all profits are just going back straight into the business. You know, just, you know, it doesn't need to happen next month, you know, for your business to be successful. You know, it'll
happen when it happens. I mean, look, this isn't me giving you any advice at all, because I know nothing about it, but might there be some grants and things that you would have access to? People often talk about getting grants.
I mean, I looked into it a wee bit, to be honest, but I just get kind of, I don't know, I'm not bothered, to be honest, with grants, but there is a lot out there. I think there's the King's Trust or something like that.
I have no idea. I'm sure there is. There seems to be grants for all kinds of things, but how you get access to them, I'm not entirely sure. So the coat is the latest thing.
Say that again, sorry.
The coat is your latest sort of item.
Yeah, that's the latest. That's the new arrival.
Can you say what's next? Is there anything sort of you know, on the cards?
It's the quarter zip. This is now in the sampling process.
Right.
I'll stand up so you can see it.
Excellent.
Kind of quilted top and everything. So this is kind of in the sampling process. We'll see where that goes, and then it'll probably be a gilet next, because a lot of people keep asking about a gilet. Just need to kind of design one and all these kind of things. But and then it's all time and money. It just depends where the business is at, what I can afford to do, all these kind of things. But as I say, I've got so many ideas in my head, but it just depends when it happens.
You'll have to take someone on just to help you out at some point. You know that, you know, if it keeps going, you will have to.
I know that.
But that would be a good thing. Are you in terms of like advertising? You're obviously doing adverts online and things like that.
Yeah.
Are you also doing local or national shows, anything like that at all?
No, not yet. I've not done any you know, like game shows or game fairs or anything. I want to do that hopefully next year. Again, just depending on money. I'll hopefully get to a few game fairs next year and everything. Some down in England, some up here in Scotland. Because I think that would be really exciting to do. To be honest,
Yeah.
my brother will be coming to that. He's excited for that.
I guess you'd have to invest in X amount of sizes and colours and sort of take the
Yeah,
gamble on it, but
yeah, yeah.
then sort of push them out.
Which in ways will be a bit easier now that I'm doing the whole British manufacturing, because you've got a
Yeah.
certain minimum order that you need to order from manufacturers. So I'll have stock there to take with me. So I'll only take a select few products, if you will. Cause I'm kind of trying to push the whole British manufacturing thing now. It'll probably mostly be those products I bring. I think, but I just, it's hard to say. Things can just depends on a lot of factors. But I'm fully committed to the British manufacturing, though.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you're reading them or seeing them. There's some lovely comments coming through in support of what you're doing. I don't know whether we'll get those afterwards, but yeah, mate, you're living and breathing your passion, which is amazing. I think it's all looking great. So keep going with it.
Thank you very much.
Is it fair to say you're a bit of a perfectionist?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I've got the good old OCD,
Right.
so. But to be honest, that helps. Again, I would say, I kind of use that that helps me try and get things as perfect as I can. Obviously there's maybe the odd time going to be a wee issue. It's just life, obviously.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
as best as I can, I'll always make things right. If there is a wee issue with something or whatever, I always try. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
I want genuine, happy customers. I genuinely care about this brand, and it's kind of my name on it, and I don't want somebody getting something that they're not happy with. And 99% of people love the stuff, and I'm honestly so grateful for everybody's support, and even this, just talking with yourself, a year ago.
Hey, I've wanted to speak to you literally for a year. I saw it, and then I mean, life just gets in the way, and then I started this. I think you're number 4 on this one. Yeah, so yeah, you're the fourth person. But I started this with the Huntress Week for the ladies, and I genuinely enjoy just chatting to people like this live. It costs absolutely nothing to do. Me and you get to have a chat. We get to tell the public about, what you're doing, and hopefully support small businesses. So, why not? Why not do
Yeah,
things like
absolutely.
this?
Are you enjoying it? Are you enjoying the?
I am. Yeah. I mean, I started with Pete, who I knew really, really well. So that's always a good one to start with, someone that you know, and then moved on, and then some people that that I loosely know and things like that. And I've got chats lined up all the way to January now, which is
Oh,
great.
brilliant.
But it gave me the kick up the ass to contact you and say, hey, do you fancy a bit of a, well, forgive the pun, chinwag? Just chew the fat and just see what happens. As I said to you, I've never really got any expectations for any of these chats. The goal is just to sort of just find out about people or businesses. Doesn't have to be a business. It could just be hopefully a fun person or a small business that's trying to get off the ground.
Yeah.
I would love it one day if someone watched one of these and somehow could help you. I'd love them to reach out and say, do you know what, how about this? And then all of a sudden, you rock it. That would be a phenomenal story. So if anyone is watching and wants to help you, and then hint, give them a message. But I mean, I was going to ask you about 5-year plans and things like that. But I'm assuming you're just trying to sort of almost go from strength to strength and see where it goes at the moment, unless you do have an actual plan.
I don't necessarily have a plan, to be honest. I mean, I've actually done that all my life. To be honest, I've never really planned in that way. Like 5 years time, I want to be there or there. Because honestly, in the blink of an eye, it can change. Just like last year, I decided to do this, so any of my previous plans would have just been scrapped. But I do have, as I said, a vision for the brand, the products, what I'd be doing, how how things are done, just kind of make things better and better, and you know, all kind of things. I mean, I was going to say earlier on, like something that spurred me on was a really good quote that I like, and it says, "The treasure that you seek is in the cave you fear to enter." And I just thought when I read that, whenever it was, that it's just says what it does in the tin. Really, that saying. Some people are wanting their dreams to come true, wanting to build something for themselves, but they're just a bit scared of it, and that's fine.
You've got to have the courage to go get it, though, haven't you?
Yeah,
for sure.
But it's the whole thing's a learning curve, but it's amazing.
So, have you seen anyone out wearing your any of the range? Have you seen anyone out yet?
Not yet, but I do know a few people, maybe within a 20-25 mil radius, have like bought some products. So it's like I'm quite excited for the day to see somebody wearing that.
You're going to be buzzing, aren't you? You are going to be absolutely lit up when that day happens, and you're just in the middle of nowhere, and all of a sudden you've got, see someone in the 3/4 tee, and it'd be amazing.
I mean, seeing sometimes like a customer might tag the Instagram in their page if they've done a photo or whatever. So sometimes I see that, and sometimes I just kind of be in that moment of, wow, that's amazing. I'm again just so grateful for that. It's like somebody brought out something and somebody's actually somebody likes it. It's like I could never have imagined that, and I just can't believe it, to be honest. So that's just a very nice thing.
I was in Gloucester Services this year with a friend, and I was in the queue to pay for whatever we were getting, and I had my hunter-gatherer hoodie on, and anyway, I got a little tap on the arm, and he said, "Are you Alex?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Are you the guy from YouTube?" And I said, "Yeah." Anyway, we had a bit of a conversation, and then my friend said, "Oh, does that happen often?" And I was just like, "Sometimes it does." And mate, inside I was absolutely glowing. It was amazing. So it's good. If I ever see anyone, I shall take a photo for you and send it straight to you. I hope so. Maybe we could do something at the Stalking Show. I don't know if you're likely to travel down. I mean, it's Staffordshire, so it's a fair old distance for you.
Right. When is it? When is that?
April 11th and 12th.
Right. What do you call it? The Stalking Show? Did you say?
Stalking Show, yeah.
I'll remember that.
Having a little look at, even if it's something for the future for you. But anyway, so that's by the by. Is there anything else that you want to talk about or sort of get across at all? Is there anything sort of on the horizon that you want people to? Obviously, we want people to go to. You've obviously got the website. We're on Instagram, so we want people to follow you and all that sort of thing. Anything else that we as the audience to you can do to support you in the short term?
As simple as a follow goes a long way. Even just a simple follow, all these things are just so much appreciated. At the end of the day, obviously sales are what keeps the business alive.
Can't pay the mortgage with follows.
That's it. I remember starting when I started Instagram, and you've got no followers, nobody knows who you are. You've got no idea if anything's going to work. It's a very daunting process.
How many are you on now? It's like,
I think 11,000 we've just hit.
I was going to say it was about 10, 11, wasn't it? Yeah, mate. You must have done really well to get to that level.
I never had that anywhere close to that in my own account when I used to have an Instagram account. But
have you got super fans that sort of like constantly talk to you and things?
Well, I've got the content creators. There's Nikki, Daryl. There's quite a few. They're talk back and forth with them. Honestly, I'm so appreciate their help so much, because they get me just great pictures and some nice content. Even just the support of that. That because they actually reached out to me very quickly. Maybe when I only had a couple of hundred of followers. So that kind of helped me think, oh, maybe the brand's got something because somebody's reaching out and wants to get some content and all
Yeah.
these sort of things. And I only use work with a couple just to keep it a kind of small family, if you will. So it's nice.
That's good.
But
Right, I've got one last question for you.
uh-huh.
Again, on the advice sort of line. So, with everything that's happened to you, if you could redo one thing differently, what would you sort of redo?
Do you know? I don't know. I don't know if I'd redo anything actually.
You've
Do you
had
know
it
that?
too easy, then, I reckon.
No, no chance.
I think you're due some grief then.
No, no chance. I mean, it's everything had to happen the way it did for me to be where I am the now. If you
Yeah.
don't make the certain mistakes or do something a certain way to find out, oh, that's actually a better way to do it. It's you'll never get to where you're meant. You'll just never get there if everything was done right the first time. It's that's again, it's been really hard. Like 100%, it's been difficult, and it still is.
Yeah.
But I actually generally wouldn't redo anything. I think everything's just happened the way it was meant to happen, and
Mate, that's a great attitude. That's actually a really great answer as well.
thanks very much. I'm
Whatever
winging
happens,
half of it.
happens.
Half of it I'm winging. Yeah, I'm just winging this.
Yeah. Hey, what do you think I'm doing when I'm cooking? Like, I wing that as well. Is it cooked?
Oh,
Is it not? I've no
you're,
idea most of the time.
you're doing a great job with that, by the way. When I see the pictures, by the way, they make me very hungry. So is that
Well,
all? Is that all do you do all that cooking then?
yeah, mostly. Unless it's like obviously a restaurant or something
Uh-huh.
like that, then yeah, it's like, yeah, it's me. I did something the other day that I'm holding back on because I'm not ready to announce what I did, but I really impressed myself. I used lots and lots of ingredients. I sort of made up the measurements, and like, you make this dish and it tasted fantastic. And
Uh-huh.
it's venison related, but I'm keeping it on the lowdown until I'm ready to release the video and things.
Oh,
So
brilliant.
watch this space. Well,
And
look,
you
mate,
were,
thank you very much.
no worries.
Whether we talk again before Christmas, I've no idea, but Merry Christmas. I can say that because we're in
Merry Christmas.
December now.
Yeah.
And I hope that 2026 brings you, everything that you're looking for and things like that. I hope the sales go well, and I hope the brand massively, massively grows. And maybe one day I can say, oh, I met him on an Instagram one day.
Honestly, I really appreciate it. All the kind words. I can't thank you enough. Honestly,
You,
it's
you've got
this.
some lovely followers, or one of us have got some lovely followers because they've said some very, very kind things
I've not been
tonight.
reading them actually. Oh,
Yeah, no, they've
Rob, I've been
loads
speaking
of
to Rob quite
support
a while.
for you, and it's been brilliant, mate. So thank you very much. I'll ping you a message afterwards. I'll just sort of do the roundup and things.
Uh-huh.
But thanks very much, Ewan, and everyone who's watching or listening. Head over to the website. I will put that in the descriptions and things like that. And let's see what the future brings for you.
Absolutely. Hopefully we meet in person and that. And I wish you
Definitely. Yeah.
wish you
I'll let you
everything.
know when I'm next up your way because there's a few things that I've got to do up there. So
Brilliant.
I'll let you know, and then yeah, we'll go off and do something.
Uh-huh. Really, really appreciate everything. Thank you very much. Wish you all the success as well and
My
everything you do.
pleasure. I'll
Brilliant.
chat to you shortly. All right.
Right. Thanks, Alex. Thank you.
Nice one. Cheers, Ewan.
Cheers, man. Bye bye.
You got to cut off, by the way.
Oh, that's amazing.
that's like one of those
curve.
moments when it's like, no, you hang up.
You hang up. Learning curve. Learning curve. Right,
Cheers,
all the
mate.
best.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Oh, what a fantastic bloke. He's such a nice guy. Again, I just want to reiterate, please head over, have a little look at To Be Treasured, have a look at the Instagram, give Ewan a follow, head over to his website. Obviously, if you're interested, get a pre-order in. Those coats and jackets look great. I shall be posting this up on my Instagram page and Ewan's as well, and it'll go live on YouTube shortly as well as a podcast. If you are interested in coming on and having a chinwag with me, then you are more than welcome to. Please don't be shy. Just reach out, drop me a message, say, hey, I'm doing this. Can we have a chat about it on Chinwag Wednesdays? more than likely I will say yes. I've got a bit of a, let's call it a waiting list. I've basically planned people out until sort of mid-January at the moment, so there's no immediate rush to jump in on anything. But yeah, I'm just trying to promote people, businesses, products, whatever you want to do. Let's tell the audience, let's tell the internet all about it. It's just been amazing meeting the people that I have so far, even if it is online. Maybe in the future I can push this to do a face-to-face podcast. That'd be amazing if we could get people perhaps into the back garden, do a bit of fire cooking, and then have these conversations like that over fire. That could be very cool. So let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of Euan. Again, thank you very much for watching and listening, and I will see you soon for the next podcast. And I'm desperately going to try and remember who I've actually booked in. And as it happens, I don't think I can. Sorry, my God. So next week is Tom from Eat the Country. Tom, I'm so sorry. So next week, Tom is one of my idols from when I first started this channel. He's absolutely amazing. He's hilarious. He's outspoken. He's charming, rude, arrogant, and he's just a lovely, lovely guy. He's a forager. God, I've really insulted him now. He's going to kill me. Anyway, let's hope no one's watching, and I'll see you next week.